Hi, Timothy Carlson here. Over the last few weeks, I've reviewed a few Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles things on my channel, and of course, we just had the new movie Mutant Mayhem a few months ago. And we're going to be getting not only a new movie, but also a new TV series on Paramount Plus in the interim. So what I thought I'd do for this video would be, I would go down and do my top 10 list of characters that I would like to see either in the upcoming TV series or the upcoming film. Possible minor spoilers for Mutant Mayhem ahead if you haven't seen the movie. Mutant Mayhem did tease Shredder at the end, so I'm not including him on this list since it's pretty obvious he'll be in the next movie. Mutant Mayhem also briefly teased Casey Jones, so he won't be on this list either. I'm just going to focus on some random characters from throughout different iterations of the franchise. I am by no means an expert on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I certainly haven't seen every show, read every comic book, seen every movie, but these are just 10 characters that I'd love to see depicted or reimagined in the new TV show or the forthcoming movie. Number 10, starting off the list, we have the Channel 6 news crew, of course, consisting of Vernon, Byrne, and Irma. These characters were classics and certainly staples of the 1987 television series. We get a radically different and much younger April O'Neil in Mutant Mayhem, but we do get some implications that she may eventually go on to the news career, so it would really be interesting to get new takes on these classic characters once she starts working for the news team, if that's what happens. I mean, we certainly need like everyman characters that we can see the Mutant Turtles world from the perspective of, and the Channel 6 crew I think would be very well suited for that. At number 9, we have a much maligned character, but one I think could get some interesting new life in a new movie, and that's Venus de Milo, the female turtle. There have been many flirtations with female turtles throughout various iterations of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and of course Venus de Milo appeared in the live-action Next Mutation series. It would be very interesting to see this character maybe finally get her just dues on the big screen, and I think an animated film or TV series would be a great place to try to give her new life. At number 8 on the list, since we're going to be dealing with Shredder in the next movie most likely, he's going to need people to help him run the Foot Clan, so my pick for number 8 is Tatsu. Tatsu was Shredder's second-in-command in the first 2 live-action movies from the early 1990s. Of course, the Foot Clan doesn't run itself, and Shredder alone can't do that because he's got his conquest of the Turtles in mind, and Tatsu was always sort of a level-headed character, but wasn't afraid to lay down the law. Shredder could certainly use a right-hand man, and this guy, depicted properly, I think would be a great addition to the next movie or TV series. At number 7 on the list, kind of in that same wheelhouse, another potential Foot Clan member or someone to run the clan along with Shredder, and that's Karai. She's been depicted with different varying relations from a family member to a love interest for Shredder, and it might be interesting to see what this character might end up doing in a new animated TV series or film. I mean, we certainly need some strong, sassy female characters, and this would be a great one that could be on that list. At number 6 on the list, we certainly need human allies for the turtle, and it wouldn't hurt to have a few that actually know how to fight. And that's why my number 6 pick on this list is Kino. Kino was a human ally of the Turtles in the Secret of the Ooze live-action film way back in the early 90s. He only appeared in that film and no other media. Now, obviously, there's plenty of humans that inhabit the Turtles' world. It would be good to have a few humans that are sympathizers on their side and are willing to fight by their side against whatever evil may come their way. Kino was always a character that I think's been unfairly neglected and has really deserved another chance in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles media, so maybe the new movie or TV show is the perfect place to resurrect him. Sticking with the subject of human allies for the Turtles, my pick for number 5 is Carter. Carter was a human who was mutated and would fight alongside the Turtles in the later years of the animated series. This character, I don't know that he was ever exactly a fan favorite, but if we're looking for interesting human allies to be on the Turtles side, Carter could be a really good bet for those episodes and maybe even a feature film appearance. It is time this guy got his just dues and finally got depicted in some form of media again. At number 4 on our list, as you know, at the end of Mutant Mayhem, a lot of the mutant characters are actually on good terms with our heroes, and that leaves them without a whole lot of mutant nemesis to fight against. So my pick for number 4 is the Punk Frogs. They infamously appeared on the 1987 animated series with goofy names like Napoleon Bonafrog. These characters seem tailor-made for an animated series or feature film, and seeing them go toe-to-toe with the Turtles I think would actually be a lot of fun and give them sort of a dark mirror nemesis of sorts. I'd love to see the current iteration of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles duke it out with these guys. And number 3 on my list, sticking with that same wheelhouse, at the end of Mutant Mayhem, all the mutants, including Rocksteady and Bebop, actually seem to be on good terms with the heroes. But we need some mutant villains to take their place, so that's why my number 3 pick is Tokka and Razor. These are two dim-witted but very strong mutant characters that appeared in The Secret of the Ooze. The live-action films at first tried to distance themselves from the animated series, so we never got Rocksteady and Bebop in live action in those movies. Tokka and Razor I always felt were kind of like their equivalents in those live-action movies. They even did make one appearance on the old animated show in its later years. It would be very cool to see these characters get a revival, and they could be nice replacements for Rocksteady and Bebop, since it looks like they're probably not going to be villains anymore in the upcoming universe. My number 2 pick, and this could be potentially the big bad of a later film, Lord Dregg. Lord Dregg sort of replaced Shredder as the main villain of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series in the latter few seasons of that version of the story. Lord Dregg, of course, drastically different from Shredder. He was, a villain from space who had his own henchmen. I admit I'm not overly familiar with the later years of the animated series, but I do think this could be a nice turn in a completely different direction if we're looking for an interesting big bad. Lord Dregg, from what I've seen, is a pretty interesting character and certainly far removed from the villains that we're familiar with, so reviving him could make a new movie or a new TV show especially interesting. And my pick for the number 1 character that I want to see in the new TV series or movie, and it's a no-brainer, pardon the really bad joke there, Krang. Krang, of course, along with Shredder, were the main villains of the original 1987 animated series. Shredder, of course, was the muscle with all the martial arts skill having come from the Foot Clan, but it was Krang and his cronies from Dimension X that brought in all of the alien technology and MacGuffins that we saw, and that could lead to some really interesting stuff on the big screen. Of course, we do have a character in the current iteration named Cynthia Utrom, Utrom being the name of the race of aliens from the original comics that inspired Krang, so that may end up tying into Krang's origin, or we may get some sort of Utrom alien villain in the next series. But I always liked Krang on the animated series because not only was he a fairly serious menace with lots of alien technology and henchmen to back him up, but there were times where he also had a sense of humor, so I always quite liked that side of the character. And that's my list. What characters do you want to see most in the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie and animated series? Comment down below and let me know what you think. Also, remember to subscribe to this channel for more content because I'm always posting new videos. And make sure you give this one a like if you found it helpful. I'm TLT Carlson. I'll see you next time.